I'm Cecil Rich, the Fish and Aquatic Program Manager for the Santa Fe National Forest. We're here today to check out some of the really cool structures we've been putting in to improve the stream and the streamside areas. These are called Beaver Dam Analogs. And analog meaning they are similar to an actual beaver dam, but people put these together. So as you can see behind me here, we have two of these structures, and upstream of each is an area where the water has been backed up a little bit. This is on the Rio Cebolla on the Santa Fe National Forest. This is a tributary of the Rio Guadalupe, just upstream from the Gilman Tunnels. And this is part of our Southwest Jemez Mountains Cooperative Forest Landscape Restoration Program. It's a mouthful. But anyway, this is an initiative where we're trying to improve the condition of the Santa Fe National Forest on a very broad landscape level scale. So these particular projects have the objective of improving the stream and its streamside areas by raising up the water level, which causes sediment to drop out. It improves the connection between the stream and the adjacent areas where it would normally flood. Well, over the years, because of impacts to this stream over time, the stream has downcut. This has made it so that even at high flow periods, it doesn't connect with what used to be the floodplain many years ago. Now it's down in this lower area. So what we're trying to do here is, by putting in these structures, is raising the water table, improving the condition of the streamside areas, getting some of the streamside trees to grow, like willows and cottonwood. This is going to improve habitat for fish and wildlife, particularly the North American beaver, which used to be throughout all the many drainages throughout the country, but they've declined greatly since the late 1800s, when fur trappers removed most of them because there was a big market in Europe for felt hats made out of beaver. So the idea is, when we put in these structures, they're going to improve habitat for the beaver, and the beaver are likely going to move back in. So you say, well, are there any beaver around here to even know that you've done this? And as we walked down here earlier, we found out that yes, there are beaver around. There was an alder tree next to the stream that had just been chopped down by a beaver. So they're here. They probably already know what we're doing. And I think over time, we expect them to potentially move back in, build more of these dams, and continue maintaining the dams so that over time, this whole stream system can improve in terms of the habitat, the availability of water. Because what happens with water is, as these structures back up the water a bit, raise the water table, the level of the water underground spreads out into these streamside areas, and the soils act like a sponge and soak up the water. And what that does is, during times of the year when there's a lot of water, high flow periods like the spring runoff, maybe during the monsoon periods, the water spreads out, goes into these floodplain areas and is stored, so that later in the summer, like right now, between the spring runoff and the monsoon period, when the stream flow is at its lowest, then those floodplains slowly release their water. And that helps to provide a more stable and reliable source of water for downstream communities that depend on water that originates on the forest, as well as irrigators that need this water for agricultural purposes and livestock. So overall, this project is expected to improve not only the stream for fish, some of the native fish that depend on healthy habitats, but also adjacent areas like where I'm standing here. This area is the home of the New Mexico meadow jumping mouse. The jumping mouse was listed as an endangered species about 4 years ago. And at that point, the Forest Service put in some fences to protect these streamside areas so that the populations can recover. Well, this project is expected to improve habitat of these streamside areas so that over time, the jumping mouse can increase its populations and be not at risk for extinction and could potentially even be removed from the endangered species list. So, the fish, the wildlife benefit, migratory birds that come in, some of the songbirds that come up into New Mexico, into these areas, can be benefited as the trees repopulate, the willows and the cottonwoods and so forth. You get a greater diversity of bird species. And I think, you know, overall, by restoring these streamside riparian wetlands, that we're going to end up with a lot healthier forest, better quality of water and availability of water, and better habitat and fishing for users of the forest. So that's what we're doing here, and we depend a lot on volunteer efforts to do this project. We have folks that come in oftentimes on a Saturday, and they spend the day helping us to construct these structures. So they'll come in, and it's pretty much anyone could be involved because it's totally non-technical. We're just taking these willow branches and wrapping them back and forth between these posts you see over here. Then we take some rocks and we place those at the stream bed right at the base of the posts and the willow. And immediately we see the stream level rise upstream of these structures and floods a little bit onto the adjacent floodplain. And folks really enjoy this work. You get an immediate kind of benefit from doing it, and folks have a way to contribute to the forest, and everybody's really been excited with these work days. So there'll be future opportunities, so stay tuned for opportunities to come out and help restore the stream and riparian areas on the Santa Fe National Forest.